for the most part.
I mean, the lineup is Sting, Ron Killing, Rtruth, Christian Cage, Jeff Jarrett, and Abyss. Now, I have not seen this match. I have not seen Slammiversary 06. I don't know who wins this. I don't know the story of what's...
Take a shot in the dark.
I mean, it could be literally anybody, because if you would have said who's in a 2006 match from TNA, I don't think I would have said it's Christian Cage holding the NWA title, because I would have thought by then that they would have already switched to like the TNA title and whatever.
No, it's not until next year in the next King of the Mountain match that they crown the first ever TNA World Champion.
Really?
Yep. So the NWA title's still around for another year, because they do like some sort of fuck finish, and then it's next year's King of the Mountain, which crowns the first ever official TNA World Champion.
The more you know.
I know a lot about this period, so it's fine.
I'm learning all sorts of things here. I'm going to learn how great or awful this is, because again, never. I mean, I know I've seen bits and pieces of King of the Mountain matches, because I know that I remember thinking that this was dumb, but I don't really like the NXT Deadline side of things either. But at least that's not as stupid as the reverse ladder thing. But this company's a fucking mess. And, it's fun to watch some of these things every once in a while. And, that's kind of what we're planning on doing right here for the fan announce table stuff. So if you're brand new to the whole fan announce table idea and you're out of...
So it's probably been a good 5-6 years since I've seen this match.
I'm not sure I ever have watched it full through.
Huh. And this is Jeff Jarrett's creation, right?
Kind of. I do think it's a Russo. I do think it's a Russo thing, but I think it's probably, I assume Jarrett had his hand into it, like most of the things in TNA at this point in time. But I do think it's a Russo correct.
I mean, he gave Jarrett the name, the King of the Mountain.
Yeah, I do believe the first one they did was in 04? Or is it 04 or 05? I can't remember which one was the first one.
I believe it was either 03 or 04, and that one was Jarrett, Rtruth.
I think it was Styles, Waltman.
No, Waltman is 2005.
Oh, okay. So maybe... So
Chris Harris was in that one.
Oh, yeah.
04 or whatever it was.
Yeah. So Jarrett wins the first one, and then I believe Raven wins the second one in 2005. So this is the third King of the Mountain match, I believe.
Well, we're going to see what happens here. I've got my feed up. You guys are all set for yours?
Yep, all good.
You too, Rob?
Oh.
Did we lose Rob?
No, he's hit mute for a little while. I assume he's been distracted by someone for a little bit, so we could maybe hold fire for a second.
I am ready.
Okay, there we go. All right, well, if you listening are not ready...
I really liked the old TNA, the tunnels coming out into the ring.
Yeah, I also liked it when AEW had that, and I was really sad when they also got rid of it.
I never liked the two-tunnel idea, because to me it was always like... To me, it reads as the idea of like, well, why do the bad guys always follow suit to be like, well, I'm going to go to the bad guy locker room, and the good guys are going to be like, well, I don't want to go to that locker room. That's bad guy locker room, like who is like, a babyface turn, they're in the heel one and they run out and do that, and I don't know. Well, I always like it better if it's just one entrance.
I kind of assume that there's like some sort of like compulsion that just draws them.
Oh wait, What's Up is an Rtruth song, so he debuted it in TNA. That's why he can use it here.
I would not have assumed that he could use that in WWE if he had used it here.
What's his song?
Well, he's an actual rapper. It's just his.
That's crazy. I saw that was a WWE one.
I'm surprised that I get surprised that he has this gimmick, because like the Ron Killings that starts out in TNA is not like this at all. This is more like K Quick than like the anti-white Ron Killings that came out and won the heavyweight title early on.
This doesn't want to be a bad guy. about it.
I did always kind of like Abyss's like carnival sort of circusy thing. Abyss was one of the few guys that when I was watching TNA here and there that I would be like, I'd be cool with Abyss going to WWE and seeing what he does there against Undertaker and Kane and whatnot.
Well, the thing is, like, he's so pigeonholed into, like, like if he goes to WWE, he's only going to feud with Kane, he's only going to feud with Undertaker. Like, you can't really see him feuding with anyone else. So I think it was good that TNA had that character, had a character like that, rather than just sending him to the place where they already had loads of those characters and were always trying to find another character to fit that mold.
Yeah, he would have just been fed to John Cena and, that kind of thing. He did more in TNA than he would have in WWE, most likely. And then now he's a producer with there, which is always weird to me, too, when they have, like, they hire people that they didn't think were good enough to wrestle for the company, but it's like, well, you could be a producer, and you can tell other people how to wrestle for us, Pete Williams, another one. Adam Pearce,
Is he's just Pete? It's like, that's Pete Williams.
It'd be great if the first day he shows up to the office and they're all like, make sure that you wear something appropriate, and they're assuming that they mean like, a suit or whatever, and he wears the fucking chainmail. So this is 40 something. How old this thing here is?
I think he's early mid 40s, something like that.
52 or something.
I mean, he's probably like Finn Balor is right now.
Yeah, this is still young enough looking Sting that you're like, yeah, top guy Sting. And here's, I want to leave because WWE is never going to let me be a main eventer, so let me go to TNA and be the top guy. Christian
so
Cage.
he was 47 at this point, Sting.
Damn, he looks good.
Yeah,
they all had the same theme songs now. All five.
Yeah, they could probably all still do this match if they wanted to.
Hey, don't give Saudi Arabia any ideas.
Well, most of them work for Tony Khan, so we don't go over with that.
I mean, true. 3 out of the 5 of them do.
Yeah, and then the other two are in WWE, so 3 of them are in AEW, so it's like...
So obviously they all just come back to TNA, right?
Yeah.
While everybody else is leaving.
It's quite interesting that he still just carries on the persona from WWE into this. Like, he's still doing like the Peeps thing pretty much, and the big hoodie with the...
And he was like, immediately treated like a main eventer.
Yeah.
Because it's that classic, like, oh, WWE wouldn't let me be the man because I wrestle.
But it's got to, like he kind of continues that gimmick into... Like, he doesn't really ever change his gimmick between, like, the end of 2000... Like, well, when he becomes, like, the Peeps guy in, like, 2003, up until when he turns heel on Randy Orton. That's kind of the first time he changes his character in a long time.
One more match. That was a good era for Christian.
He had a good series of matches. I don't know if it was a good era.
Well, he won the title, Like, he accomplished a lot around that time frame.
Like, Christian's just been consistently good throughout his career, pretty much.
Speaking of people hired by WWE, right?
Or no, I'm sorry. He's helping Undertaker book people away.
What a weird fucking time frame we're on, right?
Oh, Larry Zbyszko here as well. On the championship committee. And Earl Hebner there as well.
Hebner's looking around, seeing what he could steal. I always thought it was funny the team of he and Consequences Creed and Truth and Consequences. I always thought it was so perfect.
Yeah.
He's Rtruth's friend. That's how he debuts.
Like him and Pac-Man Jones being tag champions.
Weighing in excess of 350 pounds. That's a funny way of putting it.
Was I never actually? Well, they just can't get him tied down to weigh him properly. So
Yeah.
Well, that's what the chains were for. Was he walking around with those chains?
I never liked Sting's hairstyle like this, with like the puffier sides.
Pretty much everything from 2003 onwards.
Speaking of not liking somebody's hair, this facial hair on Jarrett, Christ.
yeah. I mean, this is the period of time, like, well, not even like WCW, he started, but like this is the period of time which people just get sick of. Like this is where Jarrett like carries the reputation that he has today. Is this
That like reign of terror thing?
Yeah, it's a pure reign of terror, like Triple H's one, like a few years earlier.
I've never heard Christian announce from Tampa.
Why was he announces that?
I mean, that they were probably literally doing where he lived, but that's so weird to hear. It was here, Canada only.
I know that this is an unpopular opinion that I've stated many, many times, but god damn, I hate that NWA belt. I've never thought that looked good. It's a weird-ass shape. I don't like the countries on the sides and all. I hate that belt.
Why? I presume you prefer the big gold.
Yeah.
I just don't like anything about the NWA belt. Like, it's a weird shape. I don't like the placement of anything on there. I think it's ugly in every way except for the fact that it's a gold belt on a black strap. Oh, she's hot. Whoever that was in the crowd.
It is pretty cool to watch a period of time. It is good to go back and watch a period of time where Rtruth could still move properly.
Yeah, you're talking about one and a half of the tag team champions right now. And honestly, it still kind of looks the same, like 12 years ago, he looks, he's got less hair. That's it.
Well, I've seen Christian do like the Colton dance. Just makes me just think about that that promo he cut at Survivor Series that year.
Oh, I'm not the same as everyone else here. I'm Canadian, or what's it from SmackDown, right?
Yeah. It was like, I'm from East Libya or whatever.
Look at all this stuff on the side of the ring. TNA Total Nonstop Action in Wrestling presents the best of Samoa Joe, something unstoppable, whatever. It's like, you can't possibly read all this garbage. You get a little bit
Well, this is peak like DVD compilation time. Doing that sort of stuff. So, oops, is a kick.
Rtruth has contorted his body like 7 times in this match. He's really enjoying that flexibility.
Oh, they're going. Oh, yeah, Sting just directing traffic here.
Well, he's
like, hey, you go do the move that's gonna hurt.
I'll do this thing.
Oh my god, we're back in like AEW in like 15 years afterwards. Just put Sting on something high and just watch him go.
It's almost like they were daring him to do it.
That's a good way of Don West trying to cover for the fact that they were just standing there trying to... Yeah.
I appreciate that. Like, no, who's doing that now? Who's trying to cover up for that?
Don Weston and Mike Tenay are an underrated commentary duo.
I think out of all the people on commentary these days that tries to kind of make good for that kind of stuff, it's probably Vic Joseph.
Yeah, he's very good. I don't know why they don't do more with him.
Maybe Corey. Corey's not bad at that kind of stuff. I liked Corey's call on Monday Night Raw where he was like, I'm a big fan of Dom and whatever like that. I love Dom. He's great, whatever. I say that fully well, expecting Yoba Femi to beat the crap out of him or whatever. All right, so we got our first penalty. Jeff Jarrett's going to go in there. He's all, what, no.
This thing just watched him, yeah.
Why are we setting up a table spot right now?
Because Abyss can do that.
Yeah, because this match has Abyss in it. Of course, they're setting up for Joel in table spot.
This cage looks wonky as hell.
Well, fuck.
Oh!
Did he just break the door?
Well, I assume it wasn't like it's not closed. It's like a gimmicked cage.
I thought he just like accidentally broke it.
It might be one of those things, like, because I remember, like, in the very first Elimination Chamber match, like, Triple H almost goes through a door at the first point. Whoa!
Fuck me.
Yeah,
that did not look good.
Yeah. I mean, if it didn't properly hurt him, that's a great sell.
Admittedly, once Abyss starts just walking around like a normal guy like this, it doesn't really feel like he's some like uncaged animal psychopath, needs to be straitjacketed. He just kind of looks like a dude that's got a mask on.
Yeah, I don't think they like. Again, it's one of the things with like Russo. These weird game matches, like you put a lot of strain on the commentators trying to explain why they do certain things in matches, which seem a little bit counterintuitive. Like they're just talking about why did Abyss break that up? It's like, well, surely you would break it up because you don't want to have a load of people that are eligible to enter the ring, but then you just had Sting like staring at him, letting someone pin the other guy. It's like. They just do things differently here.
I think the justification for thing would probably be he doesn't want Jeff Jarrett to win the title again, so he's fine with anybody beating Jeff Jarrett.
I don't know, it's just one of those things that I feel like if there's like a writing team on here and somebody's like, why don't we do a match where they start with this and they do that and there's a penalty box and you have to go up and you have to climb and I'd be like, can we just stop and address that there's 9 elements of this that doesn't make sense? Not even one element. There's like at least 5 that are kind of fucking stupid. And why not just do, the like, just the penalty box element of it? And then, like you said, like, why not have it be it's a ladder match and the belt is up there and you aren't eligible to compete for it if you get pinned, because if you get pinned, then you're in a penalty box, but anybody else at any point can go up and grab it. Like, add a penalty box to a ladder match. There you go. Try that.
I think it's just and to be fair, like, the spirit of it is fine. Just a desire to be different and do things differently and rip up the formula a little bit, which is like admirable in a certain way. But then it just leads to things which are just completely nonsensical, like that whole period of time where it's like we think about it all the time because of like war games now being back and doing that stuff. Like, there's only one way to do war games, which is the heel start and then the baby faces come in and they even the odds as the match goes on. The heels always have the man advantage, and so many people just try and think to do it differently, and it just never works.
Same as the whole steel cage gimmick thing. If the steel cage is supposed to keep everybody out, and every steel cage match includes people coming in, breaking into the steel cage and interfering, it defeats the purpose of the steel cage. And then at that point, maybe don't do steel cage matches for a while and let people forget about it. Are they still doing King of the Mountain matches in TNA?
They haven't in a really long time.
Yeah, I can't recall the last time they did it. I'll see if I can look it up while we're watching.
From a perspective of somebody that only watched tangentially here and there and never really got super into TNA at any era, it does kind of feel like the company is not TNA these days. It feels like it's as bad as TNA can be, but it seems like it's a completely different company than something like this, where like I think the first time that I started watching TNA, Cornette was a big factor on TV, and it was like Scott Steiner and other people, and
So you started watching right around this time. In that case,
it would have been like I guess sometime around here. I don't think Christian was in the company when I was watching, but I know I was watching fully by the time that like I distinctly remember the whole "it's Christian" thing in WWE. So,
well, Christian came back in like 2009, I think.
No,
9.
Yeah, 2009. I just checked to see. So the final King of the Mountain match was technically a Queen of the Mountain match in 2022, where Jordan Grace beat Tasha Steelz, Chelsea Green, Deonna Purrazzo, and Mia Yim to win the title.
I mean, that's the match I'd watch.
So it's Falls Count Anywhere too.
Yeah, I think it kind of goes in and out with that rule.
That might have been. Look, it's a 20-year-old match. If you get spoiled, I'm sorry. That might have just been because they're going to do a bit where Hebner and Jarrett are cahooting with one another.
Oh, the cahooting.
It's the final actual men's King of the Mountain match was for the King of the Mountain Championship in April 21st, 2016.
Wow. That's a long time ago. Damn, they haven't done a King of the Mountain match in 10 years.
Yeah. And the men involved in that one were Bram defending the title against Andrew Everett, Eddie Edwards, Eli Drake, and Jesse Goddard.
Jeez.
Oh,
so LA Knight, yeah. And Eddie Edwards still going.
Goddard's is on Gladiators. I tried watching American Gladiators, this new reboot. I got about 8 minutes in, and I was like, this is fucking trash. I couldn't do it.
Because American
it's
Gladiators
so overproduced.
It's so distinctly 80s. And everyone thinks that they can do that. But they, as cheesy as what I'm about to say is going to sound, you can't redo the 80s. The 80s was just like a really colorful time, and any attempt to recreate that is just going to feel like, oh, you're doing a bit.
Not even just trying to recreate the magic of the 80s, but it was just a terribly overproduced show. Every single second felt like they went through 3 forms of editing and were trying to be we needed to be snappy, we needed to be over the top, we needed to be loud. If we gotta have it be throw a lot of shit at the screen because it might be boring otherwise. And instead I just was just I feel like I'm lowest common denominator being told we got to keep attention of little kids, kind of. I'm like, that's exhausting. I'm a fucking adult. I wouldn't have liked this as a 7-year-old. They loved their red shit in TNA too, the red cage kind of ideas and all. I always thought that looked really cheap.
Yeah.
Cardboard.
Oh, Devin almost hit the camera there. So to talk that the way.
So they're like, hey, this match might be a little bit confusing because there's a ladder thing and you have to bring the belt up to it. And there's also a cage and there's a timer. And it's also Falls Count Anywhere, and we're going to battle around.
Yeah.
This is less This is harder to follow than like a stadium stampede match is.
Well, Stadium Stampede, you're just watching people fight until they pin someone. This one, you're having to wait for someone to climb a ladder as well. You have to be handed the belt, so someone's holding the belt on the outside, waiting for them to take it.
That's so dumb. And this is the first time somebody's trying to do this, and we're 22 minutes into the match. Yeah,
it's been a bit like something like this one is pretty dull. There's really not doing anything particularly interesting. Like, they barely even used ladders in this match overall.
The highest spot was probably that Stinger jump off the cage.
Yeah. I mean, these guys, these are just 5 guys that just don't work. Well, obviously, Christian has a very long history of ladders, but the rest of them, it's just like, these are just not guys you would put in a multi-man ladder match.
And they've completely just at this point been like, you know what, we haven't done anything with the ladder, so let's just ignore the penalty box thing. Like, now we're at the stretch. We finished the stretch of the match that's brawl everywhere else. Now we're in the do all the ladder things. Whoever produced this was just like, I can't remember anything unless we just skip to the next bullet point.
Oh, that's a bad line there. Learning from Mark Mero there.
If you had to pick, either you get, hit with one of these ladders, you get hit with a chair, or you get thrown through a table.
Table.
You go with a table?
The table's designed to break someone's fall. Like, that is, everyone talks about it. Like, you listen to wrestlers talk about it all the time. Like, the table spots are the easiest stuff to take, really.
The fuck is Christian trying to do here?
He's going to try and climb the ladder upside down.
Ladder upside down. The reverse ladder.
Yeah, logic. All right.
I appreciate the attempt at being innovative, which I think is how I feel mostly about a lot of these kind of things. I appreciate that, like, you tried to do your own thing.
I'm going to do my own thing.
I think, like, AEW doesn't have too many signature matches. That's why I really like the Casino Gauntlet. Because it's like, okay, that's your thing. That's your take on something.
Which, to me, the Casino Gauntlet's really not anything all that to be like, my God, we created the Casino Gauntlet. It's a gauntlet. There's nothing new. I don't know why they call it Casino, because they dropped the whole card thing.
That was totally a Cody idea.
Yeah.
That had to be.
I mean, the main issue I have with this match is not even like this, the goofiness of the gimmick and the whole stipulation. It's just the fact that in this particular iteration of the match is just so slow. Like, these guys are just not doing anything that's really notable or memorable.
Yeah, you throw like an AJ Styles in here, or somebody who's got something to prove and wants to bounce around. X Division type stuff. Probably have more fun.
Yeah,
the one from next year is probably better with Angle and Mojo and.
Yeah, next year's one is like, it's Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Chris Harris, and yeah,
I think it's Christian again.
Yeah, it's Christian again, I think. Yeah, and yeah, that one is going to be a lot more. They're going to wrestle a lot more at the very least when they're not doing the ladder stuff.
Who's the standout of that match? Braden Walker?
Knock knock.
Black hole slam.
Oh, referee's down.
Won't you come?
Oh, it's so Johnson.
God, that refereeing, like, those sneakers, those slip-ons, was such a dick. Yeah.
What is Abisco's issue right now?
Yeah. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I just remember how this match ends.
Oh yeah, I know how this match ends.
Yeah.
But
So Zbyszko's mad that Jarrett's in the penalty box.
Was it so just mad that the referee came in and carried the pinfall for him? Oh, that's where the tables come in.
told you, because Zbyszko can do that.
Well, it's also like, I would love somebody that is into statistics and wants to go ahead and do all the fucking research for this. I would love to see the statistic of how often does somebody set up a ladder or a table just so they're the one that goes through it. Because it seems like it's at least 75% of the time.
Yeah, it's like the hubris thing. Yeah.
It's also likely because they're setting it up because they know what they can take.
One thing that I will give them credit for, TNA, at least, even though I don't like the 6 sides, that did separate them.
Neither did any of the wrestlers.
Yeah, apparently it's like really awful, like the tight ropes and the hard ring and all.
I remember AJ being like, I was so mad when we went back to a regular ring until I took a bump. And then I was okay with it.
I've never liked cables. I always like the ropes that WWE has better. To me, the cables look a little fake.
It's easier for the wrestlers.
Oh, Jarrett's been let out of it before the time is up.
So they're all cahooters.
All that cahootin'.
Oh.
So,
Like 200,000 guitars and never drew a dime.
And of course,
Sting now has the belt in his hand as Christian kind of looks around and Sting decides to just throw it. What the fuck?
his whole thing is fuck Jeff Jarrett.
He just doesn't want Jarrett to...
There's Zbyszko.
So in 2006, they're like, you know what we should do? We should probably repeat some of the mistakes from WCW, because that company went out a couple years ago. Maybe if we
Drew Cornette at this point was just become the face of TNA management.
The company. That's why I mentioned that Tony started watching around this time.
Got him. Revive him. What do you got, a fucking... You got a potion, Pokemon or something?
He didn't say it as loud as John Cena, but Jeff Jarrett just told Sting what to do.
I love how the commentary are just super cool with the idea of Sting being eligible now, even though he just used an unconscious referee to count pinfall for him.
Well, he apparently revived him. Bum bum bum. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Also, wasn't the whole point of the Zbyszko thing to be like, wow, that's a big turn, that's the end of the match?
No, because there's a... Because TNA don't do things half measure.
Oh, Hebner pushed him?
Yeah, Hebner's also...
Montreal never dies, baby.
Damn you, referee Earl Hebner. Now people are throwing, so...
Yeah, front garbage.
Okay, do you think those were plants? Do you think people are just
I think maybe there was like one plant, and then everybody else is just like, oh, well, if they're doing it.
Yeah, fucking rifling everything.
Yeah, to be fair, I doubt that everyone has that many bottles on them and stuff, and like...
They hand out bottles earlier, and it says, throw this in the main event. Wouldn't put it past Russo.
Oh shit, it's Dan.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, this is the big angle for TV. That he holds the title up. So you just do that.
And then
You do the whole match, and like by the end of the pay-per-view, you have no idea who the champion is.
That's so fucking stupid. My God, how did this company last as long as they did?
Well, that's the thing. It's like TNA, and you could argue that like WWE have done this in periods of time as well. Is that they use their pay-per-views to build the TV.
Yeah. And then the TV's like, well, you don't have to watch the TV because we're putting the pay-per-views, and you're like, I don't have to watch any of this, do I? And then they're like, oh, shut up, you're not supposed to realize that.
That's why TNA never had really any like great pay-per-view buy rates. They were just always so bad.
Well, it's a hallmark of Russo. I'm writing a TV show, bro. I'm fucking like pay-per-view doesn't matter. Tune into Impact.
Yeesh.
I think this is indicative, even though this is 20 years ago, unfortunately the stink still lingers. This is the worst part of wrestling post-Attitude Era. Everyone thinks that wrestling is supposed to end with some major schmoz controversy instead of just doing, okay, so-and-so won, what's next?
Yeah, I would actually look up to see if there was, see what the fallout of that one was.
Somehow it all leads to a situation of what's happening today. Yeah, you can trace everything back to that.
This leads to essentially, hey, Sting is going to beat Jeff Jarrett for that title at Bound for Glory. Kurt Angle's coming in to be the guest referee for that match. And then we get into the Angle era, which is what I think most people remember TNA for these days.
Who does Angle beat to win the title for the first time?
He wins the King of the Mountain match.
Yeah, that's when he. So they ended their business agreement with the NWA in 2007. Last TNA NWA champion is Christian Cage, and then they end it in a smalls finish where I think it's a triple threat match between him, Angle, and it might be this.
It's Angle, Sting, and Christian. They do a finish where, as Christian is pinning Sting, Angle puts the ankle lock on Sting, and then one referee counts Christian's shoulders as Sting taps out at the same time. So again, who's the champion? We'll just decide it in King of the Mountain at Slammiversary.
Yeah. And so, then Angle wins it, and then that's the era of the first, official TNA champions.
TNA. I will say I was glad that they got their own belts. I thought it was way overdue by 2007.
And I just checked, guess who was the first NWA champion after the relationship with TNA ended?
Is that
someone who would be familiar to?
I'm gonna guess Adam Pearce.
It is Adam Pearce, yeah.
Oh.
Defeating
Scrap Daddy.
He goes on to win that belt a lot.
Does he really?
Yeah.
I always just assumed that he was like a one-time champion or something. I've never followed anything of his career.
He becomes synonymous with that era of the NWA.
Yeah, he's a 5-time NWA champion.
Wow.
And it's quite funny because I see people seeing the way he did it as well. Apparently, he defeated Brent Albright in the final of the tournament to crown, because the title was vacated at that point in time. And so, but he was a substitute for Bryan Danielson.
Huh.
So realistically, it gives you a sense that Bryan Danielson was supposed to win the NWA title.
I could see them saying Bryan Danielson is like a throwback to the Luthez types. But then when they get Pierce, they're just like, yeah, this is better because Pierce will stick around longer.
Well, the thing is, Danielson was in the final of that tournament, but he suffered a detached retina, and so he couldn't compete, and so they substituted Adam Pearce in. Yeah. So it was supposed to be Danielson versus Brent Albright, so I assumed they were going to make Danielson the champion, but they had to substitute Pearce in because of Danielson's injury. So, Danielson never ends up holding the NWA title, so... missed out on
He
that.
would have been a great NWA champion.
But yeah, in terms of like just quality of match, this was bad. Like even by like the weird, like I understand like the weird match stipulation, people would just get lost by that, and I can totally understand that reasoning. But by the standards of just this match, you take. You try and make peace with the weird stipulation that this match itself was just really boring and flat, and just none of the guys looked like they wanted to do anything memorable. It was, in a way, it's harkens back to more of an old school era where you kind of tell that outside of a few orchestrated spots, like it was literally just guys brawling and doing whatever in between those spots. But yeah, so it doesn't have the same sort of flow or rhythm or energy as a modern day ladder match would, or even a ladder match of that period of time, for the most part.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of guys that are
10 years earlier.
Ill-suited. Yeah, exactly. But it's just like it's a bunch of guys that are mostly ill-suited for that type of match, going in without really having any real plan other than what the finish would be.
And the finish itself being a mess. So it's not even
it's just a load of guys. That's probably why they put very little effort into it, like Sting and Christian and anyone else, because the finish was that. The finish was both the official on the outside and the referee are going to screw the baby faces out of the title and give it to Jeff Jarrett. So yeah, I can totally understand why they probably weren't giving it 100% with their performances here.
Man, Sting should have just went to WWE. He could have at least done something more there when it comes to won the WWE title, had some memorable matches with some of those guys. I don't know about this TNA stuff. But yeah, King of the Mountain. I understand why it's not around anymore if this is how they book that kind of thing. Good name.
I mean, if we do the same thing next year, I think it'll be a better quality and we'd enjoy it more. So we have to maybe put a pin in it and say if we're going to do the 20 years of the 7 years, then maybe we could look at that then. But have to wait and see.
Nevertheless, I'm glad that we went down this memory lane, and I got a chance to see something that I hadn't watched before. It's a little Miss This Mark action, I guess you could say. Not gonna label it as Miss This Mark, whatever. But maybe I will. Who knows? I haven't labeled anything that for a while. But the fan announce table side of things. Obviously, if you guys have any other suggestions, what you'd like us to watch, whether it's a single match like this, or it's a pay-per-view, or a movie. Still haven't watched some of the movie options we had on the back burner too. Or if you want any other kind of stuff in particular, the next tier above the Darkcast tier, you get to be able to pick something, at least within reason. If anybody's like, we want you to watch all the WrestleManias back to back, we're not going to do that. But, keep that all in mind, and thank you for showing your support for us. I'm not going to plug everything, as per usual, but yeah, you guys know what to do. So hit the like button at the very least. Subscribe if you didn't know that already. Be a little bit weird if you're the Darkcast here, but you're not even subscribed yet. But okay. Nevertheless, that's what I got. Make sure you're following Rob and Callum too.
Yep, you can follow me everywhere at Dude Felice. And yeah, wait, I don't need to plug anything because you guys, if you're paying for this, you know who we are.
Yeah, you can just follow me at Weeknice14 on Twitter and Blue Sky, but yeah, I won't plug in more shit because you pay a lot to hear that stuff, so.
And the next podcast that we're going to be recording is going to be the hot tags of the week. So we're going to talk a little bit more TNA with people leaving the company. We're going to talk about the TV show stuff that went down over the course of these past few days and everything else like that. So next week we have pay-per-views, and one of them being Slammiversary. That'll be on next week's round of the hot tags, I believe. But all that stuff in due time. But for now, this has been another Smart Guy moment, and we're being counted out.